besser und es fällt mir alles leichter. Also, und ich verstehe es nicht, ich weiß nicht, wieso etwas durch einfachen Gegenstand passieren kann.
So I have received Chenrezig necklace from Nupa Rinpoche, and whenever I'm wearing this necklace, I'm feeling so much better and everything seems to be much easier. But I just cannot understand why this is, why it is the case that just because of one material object, I am feeling so much better. So it is a quality of bodhichitta, actually, and that's the quality of all the various objects that we have as our protection. For example, there is Buddha forms and the Buddha's words, there's scriptures, there is the liberation by seeing or liberation by touching and so on. All of that has its quality due to the quality of bodhicitta. So what makes you feel better really is the love. It is this thing is infused with the quality of love, and that is why it makes you feel better. So all the protection, everything that makes you feel better is because it is like in a way permeated by love and compassion. One more question. Two hands were up, but the hands of the same person must be a very important question. So the question is, um, she's um, no, her entire life, she said, I'm always someone who is really a person with great love, and even if it gets difficult, um, and even if this love is not returned, and even if there's enemies, still not hating these enemies, and she's spending her time with a disabled daughter, who can't get a proper education and has it really difficult to deal with life, and not seen from the eyes of someone with intelligence. It's really very pitiful because she's working very hard for 15 years, 8 hours a day, but almost doesn't get any money, no vacation, and so on. They were also staying in one of His Holiness Dalai Lama's Dharma centers, Thupten Darjeeling, and they were in a way kicked out of there. But she always tried to get back up and try to give strength to her daughter and so on. Try to talk to her, even though she had a lot of difficulties. She always tried very hard. So what to do?
뒤쪽으로 탑시험할 때 소소 셈 주바요 거래. 소 철저가 되고 소리 다지니. 철저가 되는 말이 무슨 달에는 사바고 온 거에. 삽지스라고 통다리. 라그 달아 삽지 본데 달 컨트롤이라 차도 본보디 라그 레이데 뭐라 참 삽지 티티 주바고 온 거 컨트롤하는 이거 말이야. 뭐는 그지 않고 막 샵매가 레게 들다 차요리. 무강에 같이 때를 들어 삽지고 주바고 막 같이 때는 아 컨트롤하는 거도 주바고 상 들이차게 지레도 지들 주바 소왔다. 뭐도 컨트롤만은 적자리 지금 레 가로 지금 저스고 말이 지양하면 레지 이제야 요 말이라 말레 가가요 레
And so anyways, Rinpoche said there's actually not much that we can really do, aside from really practicing patience and not really having any wish to receive any love from anyone, because if you want to receive love from anyone, that's actually selfishness. So whether others give you love or not, you must love them. That's why we say we must even love our enemy. So cultivating love is really your own greatest benefit. And now what your daughter is experiencing is also your daughter's karma. And be patient with that without getting frustrated or angry. And that kind of karma comes from actions done in previous lives with an ignorant mind, with a lack of wisdom or intelligence. And so no matter how hard it gets, sustain your love with patience and supplicate, pray to a deity such as Chenrezig or Taram. But actually, as long as you do not get resentful or angry, that is actually enough. So often there's nothing much that we can do because we have already created the karma for things to happen in previous lives. And also your daughter has her own karma, her separate karma. And therefore there's nothing much that we can do to bring about a major change. So the best advice really is to sustain your love with patience.
때려 주바 배고요. 양 제가 토로 주바 배고 오 첫째 한번 때 양생 주바고 주바도 주바 예 배. 향수는 7천 정도. 오 가스는 7천 정도 상. 가고
Even more so than on love, on top of love, we need to develop a special sense of patience. No matter whether your love is returned, you need to be patient with others and know that this is how my merit increases further and further, and in that actually you can rejoice. Now if you feel that someone is experiencing like a negative emotion, anger and so on, so then we also can't just let it be. So what can we do about it? Rinpoche is not speaking into the microphone, so. So. Especially when you are getting angry at someone at that time, each time it arises, without following the moment of anger, you recognize it, you remember love, and you let go of clinging to it. And so with each arising of anger, then the anger becomes exhausted. So with each time it becomes exhausted, it becomes lesser and lesser. Rinpoche microphone on a shake over there. Rinpoche microphone shame dog. Tina la kitchen shake over there. Jetzt hast du noch eine.
다 대주고 잡돈 고리 잡돈 사바쇼고는 가세와 대삼지 살아남는 땅 하나 가만히 juk 이 중에 까도리들이 앞에 초요래 들이 지나서 미소 잡 초요래 좀는 그래요.
Next we come to the refuge vow, and so who of you is completely new to that and who is receiving the refuge vow for the first time? If that is the case for you, please raise your hand, and when you're taking the refuge vow, you can stay at your seat for now, and when it's time to get the hair clipped, then you can come up one by one. And the rest of you who is not taking refuge, you can stay if you want, but also you're free to leave. Anyways, maybe it's good for you to stay because I'm going to also explain the trainings, the precepts of refuge, which is good to hear. So then when it's time to come for the hair clipping, anyways, those who take the refuge vow can come up.
그러다 잡동시 바디에 저땅 잡는 고초 섬도 세 고초 섬이 남그 고초 섬들이 배나 사지가 람데 쓰이 요래지 람가리다 사지 잡고리 사지 사지 잡니 피용 강에들 다른 잡리도 막 쇼리도 상마지 이제 봐대 들 잡고 요래지 상들을 가려 상조리지 상들이 나 나오냐마다 파 상을 예되는 오 신이 이면도 쓰라지 이면다서 학고서 나지 세송들이 세대 잡동은 자공하는 자공서서나 약지 초대 좀 이제 예들이 잡도집에 쳐를 니디요 말이 사진 니디요 말이 사진이 생기는 건 스님이 생쪽 봐야 돼. 생기서 요바로 차야 됐다 다고에 이 상계들이 삼세용은 이제 요거를 이제용 삼희제집에 나지 매반도에 추유지 들이 탑대 견딘 것 뜨고요. 그들이 들이다가 남잡로다가 대피고래 요래 사제지 정보 시랍 라주리요 바데 다다 잡이 동바셔도 요 바데 지와 하마 잡이 쉬요 베시 박차 장보리 가장보리 들이 상집에 탑 상희제 놀래 이제 잡고 거래 이제 우리 지와 체랍만 보러들이 상마지 바르 이제 라밤이 받지 나지 매간도 요래 들 계획신인데 답이 출력되지 말로 탑에 계획신이 기긴상게 도저도 좀 계획신이 있어 이제 너네들 누구를 세요래 좋아하고 요거를 제가 내가 그 사드지와래 가사드송 난그 권초선들랑
So for the refuge vow, first of all, in general, we all understand the outer sources of refuge, the three jewels. What we also need to understand are the inner three jewels within our own mind. And so the Buddha is the one who had taught the path, which is the Dharma. And the Dharma is actually nothing else but love. So what really must actually grant you refuge or protect you is love. In our refuge card, it explains that the benefits of taking refuge is that when you take refuge today, then from now onward and until you reach enlightenment, you will be protected. And how it happens is that this term enlightenment or Buddhahood, it means Sangye in Tibetan, and Sang means to clear away, clarify. And so what is cleared away is this concept of I and existing me as self. That becomes purified or cleared away. The second syllable ye means vast or expansive, and that is when the I is cleared away, when you realize that self and other do not exist, then the mind becomes vast or expansive like space. Or it is like an ice block is melting into the ocean water and merging to be one with the ocean. So in the Buddha mind, there is no more dualistic perception. And when they see sentient beings, they know that their minds are actually one and the same. Just temporarily, sentient beings have become like insane, but that is only temporary. The path to clear that away is love. And when love arises, compassion arises. And in this way, self-grasping diminishes. That is what we call them dharma. And the method to accomplish this is taught by the Sangha. So in our refuge card, it says the essence of the Buddha that we take refuge in is our own wisdom awareness. So there is an awareness, a mind that thinks, today I want to take the refuge vow. And that mind arises due to a good imprint that you bring with you from previous lives and great fortune, actually. And then the method to attain enlightenment, it says, I take refuge in love and compassion, which is the essence of the Dharma. So in brief, that is really what grants you true protection. It is your own love, your compassion. That is what will eliminate self-grasping and lead to happiness in all lifetimes to come. And then the one who explains that to you is the spiritual friend. So in the refuge card that you will receive later, it says, I take refuge in the virtuous friend or the spiritual friend, the companion, who is the essence of the Sangha or the companions. And so here the virtuous companion is really any teacher in the mundane world and also a Dharma teacher, a spiritual teacher. So many questions have arisen in terms of the true essence of these rituals. And for this reason, to clarify, to answer these questions, Rinpoche says, I have created this new refuge card that mainly focuses on explaining to us the inner rituals, on how these rituals are actually complete within your own mind, and therefore how your own mind is your actual refuge.
이 비용을 다다다 잡기도 맞지는지 고초선 배나 남바 사집을 가르쳐 미시라고 찾고요. 되는 일들이 내 바카를 되는 게딩 바지 되는 잠블링 것이 게딩 바지 게딩 바지 되는 파포 게딩이지. 그 가을 파파리 되는 37을 제와요. 다만 빠르나 라고 또 얻었어요. 이게 게딩 바가 37 삼바요. 드리들 이발을 주바요. 주바지는 되니 다만 빠르나 철리 바다로 파 콩초요. 그게 리바는 다 산속에서 다 보잖아. 이니 소나 되니 주바콘도요. 진짜 너를 찌와서 주바니 게딩이 요지. 되는 편에서 다 trato programmi teni trato cogliore ricercano tieni melu de baratini lo tu baratini cosa un po' tanto va c'è un po' la sua cogliore ne kam torism deva teni samada hinjere tieni tatok sanji ba ma cogliore teni soso go goteva teni mona careta non ba della sua finisce cogliore teni 돌선다 내가 지는로 남부가 trực 하려고 그래. 자세라니 소지만 되더니 파스포트로 그래. 그린 파스포트 첨부는 배에서 있다고 그래. 이와죠 첨 대신이라고 계리박간니 이노 이렇게 방대 딸을 이러고 딸랑 시지되도 이노 받지 다 먹고 너 받아를 랑랑도 받다 하는 섬 그래 제 마치 피바로 강피피 속차 차오는 직접 피부터 보시 피송 피고선 어디는 거 이피 직접으로 상속선을 넘어야 차고요. 쉽게 탐지를 소화는 봐요. 뭐 샘도 용의 상지가 있어요. 그래서 상속선 넘어서 쉽게 상지 차고요. 자공통을 쉬었고요. 쉽게 상지 각각 말 대하고 technique 당항도나 그냥 마동상 사가시 봐도 오 탐지 사제에 하고 있고요. 소장 가서 요때지 그래서 소소 케일백감이 되는 농가에서 너가 나지 나서까지 케일나도 그래. 소인 통기라들이 랍 마시 받다. 오 고소서다 사적 상마제 받다. 그러니까 랍을 하고 너무 랍 마시 받다. 때문에 로직 때문에 나와지 강성서 탑송나 그렇게요. 배용사 좀 봐봐. 좀 넘바데 배용치와리 루미 쪽분은 루미 자사바로 배용이요래.
So then regarding the benefits of taking refuge, when you take the refuge vow and the three jewels, it is like you're becoming a citizen in the country of the Buddhists. And what is the special quality of that? So when you take the refuge vow, you become a Sangha, and a Sangha is also referred to as superior or noble Sangha. And what makes the Sangha exalted or superior is that the Sangha loves all sentient beings. An ordinary person's love is limited to their friends and close ones. And the second quality is that of patience. An ordinary person, their love will only last as long as no one harms them. But once they are harmed by someone, they get angry. But a Sangha has patience. Bodhichitta is contained within patience, and they sustain their love for others at all times. So in brief, the quality of a Sangha is basically twofold. A Sangha possesses the quality of love and patience. And then also, when you take the refuge vow, you will have a piece of hair clipped at your crown. And then also you repeat the refuge vows of practicing virtue. And so that is when you, for example, practice the virtue of ethical discipline. As a result, you find a precious human body. If you practice generosity, you will find wealth. If you practice patience, you will experience a long life, find harmonious companions, and have a beautiful appearance. So basically, all of the good qualities of the higher realms will be attained temporarily. And also, if love and compassion are sustained, it will lead to ultimate enlightenment. But certainly, the doors to birth in the lower realms will be closed. And also, whatever aspiration prayer you make will be accomplished, and so forth. There's many benefits of taking refuge. So the refuge card that you will receive is like your plane ticket, like your boarding card that helps you come to the Pure Land of Garchen or the higher realms. And the 37 bodhisattva practices are like your passport, or also your law book on what to practice to be part of that country. And now when we repeat the refuge vow, we say that now when you take the refuge vow, then you are refraining from causing any harm towards others. So you should think to yourself that I shall not cause any harm towards others, at least intentionally. Actually, if harming others is like harming myself. And that state of mind is the essence of the individual liberation or pratimoksha vows. And then on top of that, you should think that I also want to benefit others as much as I can, even the smallest little animal, for example. And if I cannot benefit others, at least I will have the wish to benefit them. And that state of mind really is the essence of the bodhisattva vows. And then actually regarding the tantric vows, which are also in essence complete in the refuge vow, from that perspective, there actually is no Buddhist or non-Buddhist, because all beings really have that same mind. And that mind is the cause of awakening. If it becomes infused with bodhicitta, all beings have the potential to attain enlightenment. So when we understand the Vajrayana view, we understand that the mind of beings is just like ice, and ice can be melted. There is no real ultimate separation between Buddhas and sentient beings. And so when you understand that the outer universe and all beings are actually pure by nature, then that is really the essence of the Vajrayana vows. So through understanding these three principles, by taking the refuge vow, really you are also attaining the qualities or the benefits of the three levels of vow: individual liberation, bodhisattva vows, and the Vajrayana vows. And so there are two levels to the commitment that we are going to repeat. The first one goes until enlightenment. So first you think that I will not forsake the three jewels and bodhicitta from now onward until attaining enlightenment. And then the other level of vows refers to the, the disciplines that you commit to with body and speech. And so here you can think to yourself any kind of vow that you think you're able to keep. It could be one vow or two vows or five vows and so on. So whichever vow you think you're able to keep, you think that to yourself. In terms of timing, ideally you take this vow for as long as you live, but if you can't, you can also take that vow for, say, a year or a month, however long you can keep it. The benefits really are inconceivable, even if you just take it for one day. Actually, it is said if you have a vow, I'm holding a vow, if you only offer a single butter lamp, for instance, the benefits are multiplied by 100. It's like offering 100 butter lamps. So actually, when we repeat now, the first supplication will concern these body and speech vows, and the second supplication will concern the vow that goes until enlightenment of not giving up the three jewels and bodhicitta. Thank you.
네 게디가 게디바도 판다리 트린데다는 람지스니 게디바 기준 핑고래 그래서 돌로로 티는 수나사부터 트리진체르 티는 수나사부터 네 좀데 주파리 프로그램도니 내가 게디바래 트리타 로드를 미마모처럼 대 통세들이 까바통서 쓰기도 판다기요래 이 수나 라로 타고 요래 일단 건조기 나기 니요래 이는 피바도 그요사 돈다우는 나기니면 이는 피지도 랑은 핀살에 나기지요 말 돈이 들어서 사제가 따와 나기니요 말에 돈다우니 나기지 요베서 네 게디와 빠다래 대티야 자자 좀 좀데 네 라도도 좀더 뭐 주바래 도로들 말수나지 따야 말 쳐사야 와도 그 파스로 사기 찍자요 말 진짜 공부들이 좀아 정말 폐기요래 참행 알다요래 그때 나가도 공부를 나서나서 뭐 타고야 마음을 갈아서야.
So then you will also receive this little pin, which is something like your Sangha badge. So now that means you're a Sangha, like your sign of being a Sangha. And when you wear that, you remind yourself, I'm a Sangha and I must do things to help benefit others. And that's also the reason why we print this mantra everywhere. We wear it as a pin or we print it on T-shirts and so on, because that is a very skillful way to accumulate merit. The benefits of this liberation by seeing mantra, for example, is explained in the Forceful Waterful Sutra. And if you just wear it, it is said that whoever sees it will purify the negativities and obscurations accumulate in 300 million aeons. So by simply wearing that and having other people see that, you are always continuously accumulating merit. So on the relative level, there is a perception of self and other. So here we think that I must help others. In truth, in reality, from the ultimate perspective, there is no self and other. So actually, the so-called benefit that we offer to others is actually benefiting ourselves, because self and other do not really exist. And so in this way, actually, by just wearing this mantra, you are accomplishing the purpose of others and self simultaneously. So that's the benefit of those bracelets and so on, and those pins, those this liberation mantras.
너는 사직에 사가 세는 어디들 샘싸마지 이세 샘싸마들 가려 샘싸마지 사지야지 샘는 나오 잡아 대비 파쳐서 나오 봐서암지 이 피고 상들지 나오 잡아 매봐서 샘싸마 차려 나오 잡아 우리 샘싸마 말이지 사지 말이지 뒤치 빠게
So basically, you are preparing your food for the future, your provisions for the future by wearing that. Like myself, I'm just going around and not really doing anything for others. So I need to accumulate merit because people always are looking at me. And so that's why when I'm wearing that, I'm really I'm providing for my future well-being. And so basically, the Buddha had said you have to tame your own mind, which means you have to purify your own mind. And what that means is that we need to get rid of this selfish mind, this concept of an I that exists. So don't think about I or me. Think about others. This is how your mind becomes purified. This is the Dharma. As long as you think of I and me, that will not become the Buddha. That will not become a pure or tamed, subdued mind. So then we are repeating. So there's two levels of supplications that we're going to repeat, and one is where that goes until enlightenment, and the other one that goes until death, and that refers to the vows that we take with body and speech. So the first one is actually the one with the body and speech vows, and the second one is the one that goes until enlightenment. Please repeat, Noble One, please grant me your attention from this time on and for as long as I live. I who am called, then you say your name, go for refuge in the Buddha, who is supreme among two-legged beings. I go for refuge in the Dharma, which is supreme among those free of attachment. I go for refuge in the Sangha, which is supreme among assemblies. For as long as I live, Noble One, please accept me as a lay adherent to the threefold refuge, who observes a few precepts. Master, please grant me your attention from this time on and until the essence of enlightenment manifests, I who am called, then you say your name, go for refuge in the Buddha, who is supreme among two-legged beings. I go for refuge in the Dharma, which is supreme among those free of attachment. I go for refuge in the Sangha, which is supreme among assemblies, until the essence of enlightenment manifests. Master, please accept me as a lay adherent to the threefold refuge, who observes one or more of the 5 precepts.
Bitte, Lehrmeister, nimm mich an als einen Laienübenden, der die 3 Arten des Schutzsuchens beherzigt.
상기바 탑이인데 생기성자 상기바 탑이노 들 것을 렉소 지지 모남데 다 저게 니사 지디는 모남데 사치보리 저리도 말로 저들이 모남 가리다는 그 모남데다 같이 모여래 소속에 지디 모남데를
Next, Rinpoche will say Tap Yin No, which means this is the method. So this is the method for you to attain enlightenment. In response to which we will say Lexo, which means excellent. We agree with that method. And so then after that we will repeat the concluding prayers twice, because they're very important. Once we have taken the refuge vow, whatever virtuous aspiration prayer we make is said to be become accomplished. So therefore they are very important also to be understood in our own languages. So these are the concluding prayers to be repeated. Lexo.
Okay, 다 얘기도 배표하고 그래서 그래서 모놈 자주 배워버려. 모놈도 가로 지디 얘기를 배표.
So then please come up one by one to receive the refuge vow and the hair clipping. While we do that, at the same time, we will also repeat the concluding prayers. So as you come up, please also repeat the concluding prayers. So everyone who would like to take refuge, please come from this side up to Rinpoche. Please repeat then, training, emulating all of the conquerors. May I bring excellent conduct to total completion and engage in wholly pure, stainless, ethical conduct
mein
that never
Handeln
degenerates
verkommen lasse.
and is without fault. In this and every successive lifetime, may I never be separated from the three precious jewels for the sake of Dharma. May I be unstinting with even my life force and engage the purpose of sentient beings through great determination. May precious Supreme Bodhichitta become manifest where it has not yet arisen. May that which has arisen not degenerate, but ever further increase in this and every successive lifetime. May I not be separated from the supreme teachings of the unequaled Jikung Ratna Shri. May glorious gurus take me into their care in all rebirths. May I never be parted from authentic gurus and always enjoy the Dharma's glories, having fully completed the qualities of the grounds and paths. May I swiftly attain Vajradhara state in each and every rebirth. May I be of noble lineage, clear-minded, devoid of pride, greatly compassionate and respectful of the Guru. Thus may I observe the Samaya with the glorious Guru. Whatever aspiration prayers have been made for the sake of sentient beings, from ever excellent, great Vajradhara on down to the kind root Guru, may every one of them be swiftly accomplished.
Immer guter Herzenswunsch zum Wohl der Lebewesen je gefasst, vom überaus Großartigen, dem Vajradhara selbst, bis hin zu meinem gütigen Hauptlehrer, möge ich alle diese Wünsche zur Erfüllung bringen.
And now we will do it again. Repeat again. Please repeat. Training, emulating all of the conquerors, may I bring excellent conduct to total completion and engage in wholly pure, stainless, ethical conduct that never degenerates and is without fault. in this and every successive lifetime. May I never be separated from the three precious jewels for the sake of Dharma. May I be unstinting with even my life force and engage the purpose of sentient beings through great determination. May precious supreme bodhichitta become manifest where it has not yet arisen. May that which has arisen not degenerate, but ever further increase. In this and every successive lifetime, may I not be separated from the supreme teachings of the unequaled Trikung Ratnashri, and may glorious gurus take me into their care in all rebirths. May I never be parted from authentic gurus and always enjoy the Dharma's glories, having fully completed the qualities of the grounds and paths. May I swiftly attain Vajradhara state in each and every rebirth. May I be of noble lineage, clear-minded, devoid of pride, greatly compassionate, and respectful of the Guru. Thus may I observe the Samaya with the glorious Guru. Whatever aspiration prayers have been made for the sake of sentient beings from ever excellent, great Vajradhara on down to the kind root Guru, may every one of them be swiftly accomplished.
Amen.
Möge ich all diese
So when you got the Spanish one, you can change tomorrow. Sorry. And another a few words. Tomorrow we start the Yamantaka empowerment, so it will be the preparation. And on Sunday will be the main empowerment. So morgen werden wir anfangen mit der Vorbereitung zur Yamantaka-Ermächtigung. Die eigentliche Ermächtigung ist am Sonntag und die 2 Tage gelten sozusagen als zusammen. Das heißt Samstag und Sonntag. So the 2 days, Saturday and Sunday for Great Yamantaka empowerment, they are like a package of 2 days. Dann werden wir morgen Abend auch eine Tür-Praxis ausführen. Das könnt ihr alles von dem Programm dann entnehmen. Und es ist eine Bitte, wenn ihr Texte habt und Tür-Damaro und Glocke eigene, dann bitte mitbringen. So morgen evening we will make also a Tür practice. And then when you have your own text or a Tür-Damaro and the bell, so please bring them here. Dann wollte ich noch hinweisen auf unser Shop, das habt ihr schon immer sicher gesehen. Then we have also a wonderful shop with a lot of books and a lot of Dharma things like malas. Im Shop habt ihr auch sicher schon viele wertvolle Sachen gesehen. Da gibt es auch sehr viele Bücher und sehr viele Dharma-Gegenstände. Und die nächste Frage wäre, wer hier Auto hat und könnte die ausländischen Teilnehmer auch zum Beispiel zu unserem Zentrum bringen, das wäre auch ganz toll. When somebody has a car and could help the people from outside to get to the DGE center, it will be also very, very good. And the last thing, we have 3 translation languages. We have German, English, and Russian. We could support Spanish and French. So please, when you understand English and could translate to French or Spanish, please come to us. We can provide this. I cannot say it in French. Sorry. So English has to be sufficient. Okay. Gute Nacht. Bis morgen. Good night. Thank you, and a very nice evening.